Okay, couple of points of clarification, a few tips and tricks, and some misconceptions here. Sometimes I've seen the question that says, okay, well, so this setup here, for example, we're coming off of a green eye zone, and right here, everything flips to green, trend R and flip, but we didn't have any, trend catcher arrows, so we couldn't get in. That is correct. Okay, but then what happens right here? We get a trend catcher arrow. Everything is lining up green. The market's still bouncing off of this green level. Okay, that is still a valid entry. Okay, it does not have to be immediately when everything flips right at the level. If I couldn't get in then I can't ever get in. All right. Also, what if the market came down to like right here and then turned around? It didn't ever actually touch the green eye zone. Is that okay? Yes. The market does not, just to clarify, it does not have to go through an eye zone. It does not have to come into an eye zone. It does not have to touch the eye zone. It just has to be bouncing off of that level. So whether it comes all the way into it or whether the market had just come to right here and kind of bounced up, that is still bouncing off of an eye zone level. Okay, so it does not have to necessarily touch it or break it by any certain amount. It just has to bounce off close to it. Okay, so for example, right here, everything does turn green. Everything's green. The market's still bouncing off that level. We get a setup and we take it. Okay, there's no set rules of, oh, you can't enter after it's gone X ticks away or, X points away from an eye zone. Okay, you have to use good judgment for that. If you see where the other opposing eye zone is up here. If the market turned around, if you got an actual entry right here, well, it's much closer to this eye zone than it is to this one, right? It's gone quite a ways from that already. Okay, some people ask, well, how far is too far away? There's no set number of ticks per instrument. Just use good judgment and see that, hey, the market is bouncing off of this level. I do have a setup right here. I've got some good amount of room till the next level. That looks like a valid entry. Okay, so first of all, just want to clarify that it does not have to be entered right at the level and the level only. Okay, it does have to always be entered when everything's lining up. Okay, but if the market's popping above it a little bit and you get your entry and you still got some good room to the next one, that is okay. Again, when the market's coming down, it does not have to go through it or go into it. If it bounces off right above it and you have a setup, that is okay. All right. Also, another reminder, just clarification, our MVP predictors, okay, these triangles, we do not use those for any entry rules. Okay, those are our trailing stops. Again, the market's coming down to an eye zone level. We have a heads up, then we have a confirmed arrow. On the same bar as the confirmed arrow, we've got everything. We've got trend bands, trend flip, green. Now, the bar color is still red, but we have trend R above, so we can take it. We're not waiting for the MVPs to line up. Those are just once we've entered the trade and it flips, we're trailing our stops with those. So just keep in mind, once again, the MVP arrows are not used for entry. They're only used for trailing stops. Okay, and one other point here. A lot of the examples we've looked at in training here, you've seen that, okay, when everything flips all together here, trend flip, trend bands, and we have the trend catcher arrows right here, then we take it. Well, but there can be times where everything flips green, right? We got some trend catchers back here, but those don't qualify. But here, we've got trend R above zero. We're bouncing off an eye zone. We've got trend bands and trend flip, but no trend catcher. So that is not a valid entry. Okay, but the market is still bouncing here, and then we do have the valid entry here. Okay, it does not always have to be of, well, if it's not on the first bar that everything flipped together, then we can't take it. Sometimes you'll have trend flip and trend bands and all that flip a bar too early, then you'll get your trend catcher. Okay, and as long as on the trend catcher bar, the bar where you have the confirmed arrow and everything else is green and lines up, but you're still bouncing off an I zone, you can take that trade. Again, we don't want to take it way up here. Okay, so sometimes you'll have everything else flip a bar too early, but it does not mean enter. You always wait to enter 3 ticks after the confirmed bar. Okay, another tip, just to make sure you understand. Sometimes what I've seen happen is, hey, maybe you're in a trade and you lose, and then you're in another trade and you lose, but then the third trade you're in, you're starting to do really good. Like, okay, hey, I got in this trade, I'm going up, all right, cool. Ooh, I'm reaching a little zone here though. I just want to get out and protect the profits I have, because I already lost 2. I want to at least protect a little bit of what I have. Okay, and or like you're in it here and it's like, oh, it's coming up, the market's kind of teetering, I just want to get out. Okay, and you do that to protect profits because you're reacting to some losses you've had before, but the market can keep going and you might lose out on 30 or 40 more ticks. So you got to make sure to follow the rules. No matter what your past has been, no matter what your past few trades have been, no matter if you've won or lost the past few trades, don't deviate from the rules just because you're reacting from fear or overcompensating because of losses, or you've had 4 wins in a row, so you're not going to get out when it goes, above the MVP, and you're going to hang on to it. Always follow the rules. The system only works when you follow the rules. People can talk all the time about, oh, I have an 80% win system. Okay, well, or I have a system that wins 90% of the time. Okay, well, that's great on paper, but if you don't follow the rules 50% of the time on half of your trades, is your 90% system all of a sudden a 40% system, or randomly some weeks it's 40, some it's, you don't know. You have to always follow the rules no matter what happened on your previous trade. The rules are very simple. You know that when we're down to green I zones, we're not looking for sells, we're only looking for buys. When we're up at red I zones, we're not looking for buys, we're only looking for sells. Okay, and the rules are very simple. Everything lining up red, waiting for your trend catcher arrows. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Don't try to add to it. Don't try to change it up. Don't try to spend time looking into 10 other indicators that you can maybe add to it to help you avoid one particular loss. I've seen people do that. Oh, there was a rough day today, so I'm going to spend the next 2 weeks adding on 10 million other indicators and this and that just to try to figure out how to avoid this one rough day or this one loss. And what you do is you spend weeks doing that as opposed to trading, and you screw up all your good entries. All right, the system is here, the system is tried, the system is proven. We're using these strong zones, and we've got the right mix of indicators to let us know when to enter. So stick to the rules and don't try to add to it. So if you have any questions or you're not quite sure about exact specific entries and exits, just make sure to go back and watch the last couple of videos again to make sure you got it. We cover the rules over and over again very clearly. I show you a ton of chart examples, not just some written out rules. I show over and over again on charts valid entries, valid exits, long, shorts. So if you have any questions on that, make sure to rewatch it one more time to make sure you got it.